Marriage opens up who a person truly is. Marriage is a contract. Brother, if my woman left me, she deserves more than half, brother. That's
great,
my
but she's
woman.
still incentivized.
Listen to me for one moment.
What you talking about.
No, brother. I heard you say on a podcast you make over 6 figures a year. I make over 6 figures a month. We're two different types of men.
That's totally fine. You're still a Ninja Turtle.
Next, oh, play feminine traits.
Man, oh man, after getting completely exposed and thoroughly eviscerated out on these content streets by his so-called queen, and I'm saying so-called because his, I guess now ex-wife, thoroughly demonstrated via receipts that he was whooping her ass, breaking her teeth off in her mouth. But, she's utilizing this news to also catapult her own career by not only starting up a new business to filter the audience that he's going to lose, but then also set up a GoFundMe, which is interesting because according to her, she was getting $250,000 per year in a bank account not connected to him. Where did all that money go? But a new sucker is created each and every day. Anyway, shout out to Cooley from the No Fugazi podcast. Apparently, and I don't know how I missed this piece of content, all right, because this is probably a couple of months or so after Yada 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 debated Anton Daniels, but he had a debate with Cooley. Now, Cooley just re-uploaded a clip of that debate, and I want to go back through it for the sake of continually putting a foot on his sucker's neck for as long as what I have a platform for. So let's get right into it without further ado.
The red pill, that concept is just based off of truth. When they asked me the question, I spoke truth. I did not speak how I feel. You're a woman, and you're going to get this work now. You are a female. I'm looking at across this table in your eyes. You spoke nothing but feelings. You spoke about, your situation, and that you're a victim, and that, and you still married the woman. They asked me a question, and I answered it. I never said I was against marriage or anything like that. I answered it properly and said I'm against the marriage in modernity times. Pre-modernity, it was great because women wasn't really working. That incentivization for a woman, it was needed. Currently, right now, there's no need for it.
There's no need for marriage?
You can't even dispute my point.
There's no need for marriage? What'd you say?
I said currently right now, there is no need for women to be incentivized to leave the marriage. They are incentivized to leave the marriage. Would you sign, and now I'm going to pose the question to you. Would you sign a contract? You seem like a businessman. You're wearing a suit. Would you sign a contract that the other party is incentivized to break it?
Brother,
answer it, yes or no.
Brother,
don't give me your feelings.
Like you said, I am a businessman, a great businessman. And I understand that family is the first business. I'm speaking, brother. You're shaking your head already.
You ain't answered the question,
You're talking about feminine traits. You're shaking your head already. You're shaking your head already.
Females
brother,
avoid questions.
I'm speaking, brother. I'm speaking.
Yes or no?
You're showing feminine traits again. I listened to you. I did not cut you off. Not once.
All right.
Not once.
Say something, please.
Control the panties. Please, control the panties.
Hey, bro, come on.
Control the
panties.
panties.
Little Ninja Turtle over here talking about control the panties. I'm about to get Master Splinter in here to correct you, brother. Chill out, man. You sound silly.
Go ahead, Yada.
Brother, again, family is the first business. If I'm stepping into a business to make money and I don't think the business partner I'm with is beneficial to me, I will not do business with that person. Do you understand?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But often who you marry is not who you divorce, young man. All right. Which is why I implore men to understand the contract that they are signing up for and what is written on that dotted line. Because what contract do you sign up for normally in business that doesn't have an exit strategy? Because it'll be you holding the empty bag at the end of the day if it doesn't go the way that it was supposed to. But it's just hilarious listening to his comments about how family is a business when your business partner allegedly was getting the bricks beaten out of her. All right? What type of business partner is that?
You didn't answer the question.
I just told you.
You didn't answer the question.
Family is the first business.
Okay.
So
if I have to question, marriage is a contract, brother.
Yeah, but
marriage is a contract.
Government contract.
Marriage is a contract.
She's incentivized
marriage,
to leave you.
Marriage is
She'll
a contract, brother. If my woman left me, she deserves more than half, brother. That's
great,
my
but she's
woman.
still incentivized.
Again, If I'm stepping into a relationship based off fear, I have no business being in a relationship. Feminine traits. Control yourself, brother.
Not feminine traits
Control
at all.
yourself, brother.
So you mean to tell me what is
Oh,
marriage? Marriage is from the biblical perspective,
goodness,
right? So that means that let's just take it back. Let's just take it back even further than pre-modernity, right? So at the end of the day, marriage is a covenant between the man, the woman, and God. There weren't any contracts that was made to incentivize women to leave the man when marriage first came about. There wasn't anything like this. So I'm not against marriage. I think you still don't understand my point. And I'm not saying not to get into marriage because of fear. I'm just stating what's true. You're using feelings again. So what is true? Would you sign a contract that someone is incentivized to break it?
You just said you're not talking about fear, but you keep on saying, "Oh, she can take half and she can leave you, brother."
No.
Hold on, brother.
That isn't fear. It's a fact.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. No, you're giving your opinion, brother.
No.
Stop.
Please
Are you
refute
married?
my point.
Listen. I just want to know, especially after hearing all of these DV allegations, okay? Because I'm curious. Is he still going to honor what he promised, which is to give sis more than half? Are you going to honor giving your ex-wife more than half? Because you were comfortable giving her $250,000 per year. What is it worth or owed to her for you to have blacked her eye the amount of times that you allegedly did? Let's see if you still feel that way, my guy. By the way, there's not many things that would allow for me to be disloyal to my true partners, my true homies, my true friends within my life. But if I found out any of my guys were beating their women, that's grounds for immediate expulsion. Now, what's also interesting about this is that he speaks about marriage as if he understands a degree of its business. And what's also interesting is that if you watched his wife's social media page, the wife is implemented within the business. So this guy was so fearless of what it was that he was allegedly doing to her that he would be so brazen to not only talk about marriage in this way, but defend marriage within this way, but also convince to enable a litany of post-Derek Jackson / Shira 7 audience members into his funnel, into his lies consistently for years. Last month, my Facebook page alone generated over $13,000. That number is so ridiculous. Why? Because I did absolutely no work in order to achieve that. But I put systems in play to earn that revenue. Now, there's a very important definition here. It's called resting revenue rate. How much money do you earn in a month at rest, not doing a damn thing? Because at least on my Facebook page alone, it's $13,000. Now, what's also crazy about that is I'm not a Facebooker. I'm a YouTuber. Majority of my money comes from YouTube and as well as ad sponsorships. The Facebook stuff is just the icing on the cake. But just the icing on the cake alone, I'm financially independent because it damn sure don't cost me $13,000 a month to live. Come copy my system of how I earn between $50,000 and $100,000 each and every month. Go to viral2value.com to pick up my curriculum and join my community where we also do live calls, Q&As, to answer all of your guys' questions on your content creation journey.
You married?
Please refute.
Are you married?
I'm not married. No.
Okay, so how can you speak on this, brother? You're not qualified to even open your mouth right now. You're not qualified to open your mouth right now. You're not married.
Okay, so marriage is a relationship. So marriage is under the umbrella of a relationship. So therefore, since someone doesn't have a title, that doesn't even make no sense. That's a logical fallacy. That's the appeal to authority fallacy, which means that you could say that, well, bro, you don't have a certificate, so you can't speak on this.
What?
What are you speaking about? So tell me, let's test your logic real quick. If someone is a mechanic and they have 15 years of experience, but they never got their certificate, 15 years of experience. The other person, they have 1 year of experience, but they got their certificate. Who do you think is better at fixing your car?
If I have
Who do you think is better at fixing your car? Answer the question.
Listen, you're not making sense. You're not making sense again.
You committed a logical fallacy.
Your feminine traits are showing again.
Bro, let's keep the
You're gonna lose this debate, bro, because you're speaking from feels. You already
Wait,
lost.
so Cooley, do you consider there to be any benefit to marriage for men?
Being married in a covenant under a church, under religion or God and stuff like that, yeah, it's spiritual.
Yeah, that's different.
Many benefits
We're not
as far as
talking about
spiritual
that.
benefits, of course. But if we're speaking about it, if we take that part away and we're speaking about it just signing the contract, the only other benefit is some tax benefits. Other than that, what benefit does a man get in a marriage that he already doesn't get in a relationship?
Okay, bro. Now listen to me, brother. You
You-
said the
you
spiritual.
gonna
You
answer
said
that
the
question
spirit.
or
You
no?
said the. I'm not gonna answer the way you want me to, but I'm gonna answer
Okay,
it. Thank
cool.
you so much.
Got it.
You say the spiritual aspect. Take that away. You can't take it away. When you're doing business at a high level, clearly this is not a business, man. He's a TikToker. I get it. But when you're doing business at a high level, the first thing the person to ask you is, "Are you married? Come to dinner. Bring your wife." That validates how consistent a man can be, how trustworthy a man can be. No real man is going to shack up with a woman and not make sure she's properly taken care of if he passes away. So if Cooley built a lot of wealth and he's with a woman and he dies, guess what's going to happen? Guess who's going to get the wealth?
This conversation aged wonderfully. This man is setting up an argument of benefits of being married because you live in a country, you live in an institution, you live in an economic system where more often than not, where marriage for a man derives some type of value at the dinner table, as if it signifies him being able to take care of something. But this guy couldn't even take care of at least putting on boxing gloves before beating the shit out of his wife. Allegedly. Let's go.
Not the woman that he's been shacking up with.
Oh, that's a lie. You can do all of
Oh,
that
here
without
we-
signing
here
a
we-
piece of
here
paper.
we
You
go.
can
Come
put
on,
someone
bring
on
it.
your will. You can make a woman a
Typical-
beneficiary. Listen, let me answer the question.
can't wait to-
So what I'm
come
telling
on.
you is what you just said is a lie. So
come on.
there's you just said that. Well, what?
Come on.
What's it gonna? What is the wife going to benefit from this marriage if he happens to die? Well, he could still put her on the will. He can still
he
make
can
her
still
a
do all of
beneficiary.
that.
He could do all of these things
Power of
without
attorney.
actually signing
Oh,
that
praises.
paper.
Oh.
Yes.
Also, right, if he is in a relationship with a woman, he can still protect and provide for that woman. If he loves that woman, he can still take a bullet for that woman.
And this
You're
is what
looking
I
at that
mean
title.
right here when I said this is not a businessman. Because if you write a will can be contested. Do you know what that means? Contested. You're not a man. You're not
So?
making no real money, so you don't understand. Listen to me for one
don't know
moment.
what you're talking
listen
about.
no, brother. I
What?
heard you say on a podcast you make over 6 figures a year. I make over 6 figures a month. We're two different types of men.
That's totally fine. You're
Come
still
on,
a Ninja
man.
Turtle.
Next,
bro.
oh, pray, feminine traits. Feminine
That's not.
traits.
You started it
feminine
off, bro. Look,
traits.
I asked him. The
You know,
crazy thing.
and the argument really is, we often see this from the other side of the internet. It's like, well, I'm more educated than you, or rather, I have more degrees than you, therefore I'm smarter than you. Just because you're actually in something doesn't necessarily denote, it might be correlated, but it doesn't necessarily denote that you can coach people better about something or you have a lot more information better than anybody else. I mean, shit, this guy the whole time is utilizing the marriage and the business around it, the branding that it created around it in order to trick people into thinking that he's something that he absolutely is not. And it's just wild to watch this little dude in this size 32 blazer just talk all of this shit. Like, yada, he was making, now also too, think about the income disparity, right? The dude talking to dudes, 6 figures a year. The dude lying to women, 6 figures a month. Golly.
Look at the
Before we
demon.
started,
Look at
I
the
said,
demon
listen,
showing
bro,
his face.
Do you want to make ad hominem attacks?
Come on,
If
look at
so,
me when
I
you're
will
speaking,
smoke
brother.
you.
Look at me.
I will
So
smoke
check it
you.
out. Let's try to keep it. Let's try to stay progressive here, fellas, because I want
it.
to make sure we can actually.
Cooley, you
move
called
through
him
this,
a
'cause
Ninja
this is actually
Turtle,
a really
all right.
important conversation. 'Cause
Yeah.
Cooley's not the only guy I've heard say that.
right.
There's a lot of men that actually believe this because we've seen things go left for men on many occasions, and there is just a lot of discomfort and concern
Yes.
building around
But
the union of marriage. So I'm curious about this because, I got a little sister myself. Many of us, just how life is going to go, we're going to end up raising daughters ourselves. It's just kind of what it is.
Yeah.
I know sometimes we can get caught up in protecting ourselves as men, which we have to. I mean, we have to think about what practically makes sense for us. But let's think about it like this. I want to twist this. If we were giving some game to our little sisters or a woman that we care about, is it a good idea, or do you think, Cooley, a woman can still be secure, protected, and I guess comforted in a marriage without the legal document and paperwork? Is that a good deal for the woman as well?
Yeah, she could be married in a church under, the Spirit of God. That's totally fine. Why would you? The thing is, this whole thing as far as the legal situation, this is still new. You know what I mean? And the legal situation, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. It only benefits the woman. It doesn't benefit the man at all. And the man, the only reason why, did you listen, or did anyone listen to the things that I said in the beginning? Pre-modernity, women weren't really working. They weren't in the workforce. So the reason why they made the marriage laws this way, where women get alimony and things like that, is to incentivize them because they're not working, right? But prior to even that, there wasn't any incentivization for women to get. Now we're in modernity. Women are in the workforce. So therefore, why are they still being incentivized to leave the man? That doesn't add up. That's the only part that I'm against, is the legal part. Marriage itself is a blessing. It's a great thing.
Marriage opens up who a person truly is. If a man is
All this
afraid
aged
to
well.
write a contract with a woman, he has no business being with a woman. So why would this man try to give relationship advice? Because majority of people are dating for marriage. No one says I'm dating to shack up. No one says I'm dating to have babies by a bunch of people and not marry
not
them
what
or
he's
lead
saying.
them or guide them or protect them or show them the divine covering of God. And again, I say, God said, the Bible says, when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. Not a man that finds a woman to shack up with. Not a man that finds someone just to sleep around with. Not a man that gets women pregnant after pregnancy after pregnancy. No, we have to understand that a real marriage releases divine understanding that comes directly from God. This is something different. And this is why this man cannot comprehend it. He's coming from a textbook level, and this is spiritual. Marriage is spiritual. It has nothing to do with any form of textbooks.
So if it's
Listen, this man getting married is probably one of the best business decisions that he's ever made, because, there began the facade. And even after his empire, if it collapses or what have you, he's still going to have multi-millions in the bank, and he'll be fine, probably never even having to work again if he invested his money correctly. We are not anti-marriage over here. I want to make that clear. What I say is that men need to understand what they are actually signing up for. They need to understand the stats of how often that this actually turns out, because once you get up in the family court system and you get up in that courtroom, you get to sense the biases. And you didn't sign up for that. Oh, but you did. And you should be aware of that. And within understanding how men are now treated, and that there's a whole media system that incentivizes women to leave, a girlfriend sister code system that incentivizes women to leave. And at the point that you get married, you lose your leverage. And at the point you want to get divorced, you lose half of your shit. You better ensure that she is the absolute perfect person for this contract. And it is my argument that there's way less women today that are marriageable than have ever been before. It made a lot more sense if you wanted to structure a capitalistic society in monogamy, because if a man is attaining all of these resources, there are going to be women that's going to want to groupie to him. So what is a structure that you could put into place in order to reduce him accepting all of these other different women within his life, so that those women can hopefully go to the other men, so you can promote those men to still be up in the workplace, right? Still enhancing GDP for our economy, because there ain't nothing more depressed than a man who gets no bitches. You understand me? But if they all go into the men with assets, then they're not going to go to the other men, okay? Give those men a shot is what our economy of monogamy is currently saying. But I argue men today are getting an unfair deal, and they're rationalizing against marriage. They're actually also rationalizing against relationship, because now with the Super Saiyan sexually liberated woman, you can consistently keep your tip wet, right? without relationship. I call it the coochie carousel market crash of the 2000s, all right? It's maintained until today. The value of coochie has utterly plummeted. Now, as I say this, I'm trying to protect men with knowledge and information to hopefully increase the requirements of the woman who wants to get married. But at the same time, I understand the benefits, that there are certain benefits within marriage, albeit not so for the man, but for the family that he wants to create. Okay, to raise kids. But do I think marriage, specifically secular marriage, right? Separated church and state marriage, so government, right? Like signing something in front of a government is needed or necessary? I don't think that it's needed. The two-parent household is necessary, but do I need the government to confirm all of that? Meanwhile, you got this panel over here that's talking about give her $250,000 a year simply for existing, or that he's not a real man if he don't accept you for having kids. I'd argue he's done way more damage to the concept of marriage and relationship than what he'd be willing to admit. Why would a man with all of these things up against him sign up for women that think so clouded and delusional in regards to their value that they can give to that man? It's absurd, brother. That's why you're getting this work.
Spiritual, why you sign a contract?
Again,
Gotcha.
Jesus said, Jesus, can
If it's
I answer?
spiritual, why
May
you
I
sign a contract?
answer? Give to the mayors what's the mayor's. Give to God what's God's. What are you talking about, brother? See, this is
That
the
has
devil showing
nothing to
again.
do with the government incentivizing the woman to
okay,
leave.
brother. Okay,
You.
brother.
Should single people give dating advice?
No, they're not qualified. I don't care how much a scientist reads a book. It doesn't make him a professor. He can't go to college and say, hey, I'm about to teach because no, you're not qualified. You have to have the experience. And this is something that only God can give an individual. When it comes to loving a woman, the ups and downs, the left, the right, the falling apart, the getting back together, the mental breakdowns, the coming back together in peace, love, and divine understanding. Only a person that's been through something real can speak on that. You have to be qualified. Qualified, and this is the word I need you guys to understand. Qualified. If a man is speaking on relationships and he's not married to a woman, he knows nothing about marriage life, he has no business speaking on relationships at all.
But you do.
Strong statement right there. Strong statement right there. And I think that when we had the conversation, that's where Tony Gasson stood
so
last time we had the
people.
convo. Go ahead. I want you
I'm
to
gonna drop that poll in the chat, by the way, too.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, Paul. We should have been dropping polls this whole time.
Tripping.
But go ahead. Cooley, what's your thoughts on that, man? Should single men be able to give dating advice?
Yeah, what he just said was he spoke from feelings. He actually didn't think about what he just said. So let's just extrapolate this out. Can an unmarried person give dating advice? Sure, they can give dating advice. Why not? Right? Then he says some things. He says, well, you can't give dating advice if you're not married because you don't have the experience. So let me ask you a question. If someone that's been in a relationship, a long-term relationship, and it's a good one, that man protects and provides for his woman, that woman follows his lead, it's a great relationship that they have. They have 20 years together, but they just never signed that paper, right? Never signed that paper. Versus someone that just got married for a year. They only been dating for 6 months prior to, and they got married. Who do you think is more qualified to give dating advice? The newlywed or the person with all of the experience?
The person with all the experience.
Okay,
that's
so what
not,
you
that's
just
not,
said
okay.
was a logical fallacy. It is a
Let me
lie.
finish again. See, this is feminine traits again.
No,
he asked me a
no,
question.
I
As soon as I
caught
start to
you. You
answer
just
the question,
contradicted
he cut me
yourself.
off in mid-sentence. Cut me off in mid-sentence.
You answered it though.
Please control your emotions. You're leading men.
Listen,
You're leading men.
I asked you
men
a question.
watch you.
I
Control
asked
your
you a question
emotions.
and you answered it. It's still my turn to give a
Bro,
full
you
rebuttal.
asked me a question,
You
and then
answered
you
it.
cut me off in mid-sentence.
You just said yes.
just
the
answered
most
the
qualified
question.
Hey, family, I want to show you again. This is a boy trapped in a grown man's
Bro,
body.
This dude is 5'2",
This man-
talking about someone
Here-
as a
and here we
boy
go
trapped
again.
in a grown
And
man's
here we
body.
go again. And here we go again.
Mini
And
Matt.
here we go again.
Midget Matt over
Here
here.
we go
All right, here we
again.
go, fellas. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it.
Can I finish answering the question, please?
Yeah, let me get y'all's context behind that.
This
What
guy
was your
got his
context?
suit
Please,
from a
Zach.
daycare.
Matter of fact, no. Matter of fact, go ahead, brother. You got it.
Okay, cool. So what I was
Females first.
expounding on, what I was expounding on, that question itself makes no sense. That question itself makes no sense. Well, the answer would be, like I said, yeah, sure, someone that's unmarried can give dating advice. He said they can't give dating advice. Then I just checked his logic, right? And then he said, oh, well, if they have enough experience but they're not married, they can give dating advice.
Yeah.
So which one is it?
Again, is he finished? Can you?
Yes, he's finished. Answer the goddamn. See, here's the thing. I don't like. This is why I don't give marriage advice. I have no idea, right? Like I give advice everything up until then. Once y'all already married, I don't know. Don't ask me no goddamn questions. I stay away from that shit like the plague. So I get a degree of what his point was, but that's not really. It's not accurate to what his whole point was. His whole point is that you can't give advice if you're not married. So Cooley just perfectly dismantled that logic. But let's see what he has to say.
This man, if he's finished.
I'm finished now.
Are you done?
Are you
Which
done?
one is it? So if you like that clip
that's
and you want
it?
to watch more,
My guess is that he didn't answer the question. Not even like it matters. We should have cut this actually a long time ago because we're just hearing a liar lie. And I am absolutely tired of it. All right. This just goes to show you how long that this dude has just been simply grifting out there. This is absolutely, I see that word grift used a lot. This is exactly what grifting is. He don't believe none of this shit. He makes all of this shit up. Let's look at him real quick. Like you're a liar, bro. You're a liar, bro. All right. And it's just crazy to think the amount of people that he has convinced. And I think all of these Super Saiyan pander dudes, right, they do much more damage to a community and healing the relationships within it. They do so much more damage because they just lie. They just make shit up. And I would say he's worse than a Derek Jackson, right? Because Derek would do things that wouldn't necessarily detail like a money requirement from men. Okay, Derek would be on some bullshit, and we all know Derek was on some. But like this guy is adding in this money piece to it in order to proliferate his brand. And meanwhile, the wife was sitting there complicit, knowing that he's a liar, knowing what happened to the $250K per year that you was getting. And don't you have your own money and your own assets from your own business, from the shit that all y'all be selling? This guy's talking about he's doing over $100K a month, huh? Okay, yeah, but now that you don't have access to it, now you're putting up a GoFundMe. So you sat there complicit while this dude lied and tore apart relationship after relationship after relationship. And shout out to all the G's in the last video. You saying, yo, I used to date a girl who sent me some of his videos. That's the type of shit that you did. How could you live with yourself knowing that this is the type of person that you are behind scenes and you're influencing a generation of delusion? That's what you did. That's what you should be held on trial for. At this point, I'm just interested if we're going to see a lick of accountability from this guy, right? After allegedly hurting his queen and selling all this fake-ass relationship guru bullshit for years, okay? You better honor that promise, homie, and give him more than half. We're going to see the type of settlement because it should be a public filing. Yada, we will be waiting. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre Tourism Reviews at gmail.com. Guys, let me know what you think about this one down up in the comment box. Shout out to Cooley again for doing that debate and reposting this, reminding us all this debate actually happened. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think down below. Last but not least, viraltovalue.com. This is my curriculum, how it is that I do all of this each and every day, okay? If you're interested in becoming a commentator, and with the proliferation of AI, it has made it even more accessible. But you got to get in now because in the next couple of years, it's going to look crazy. So you want to get started now. And if you want that fast track blueprint of how I do all of this to achieve this success, then click the link down in the description box down below. But again, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Please protect yourself at all times, especially from these internet grifters, these liars, right? And send women in your life these videos. Also send the exes in your life. The chick you haven't talked to this chick in a year. Send her this link right here if she sent you a video of his before in the past, riding for his bullshit. All right, guys. Until next time. Peace.
So, without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars. I'm packing and rapping like here we are. Mediocre tutorial reviews. Like, comment, share my views. Come up and I paid my dues. Big step in my black way shoes. MTR, he break it down, yeah, it's MTR. Check out the sound when it's MTR. No one put it down like it's MTR.